Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Céline.
So we're going to tell you a little bit of our story with horses. So I started riding when I was 9, and since the beginning, horses came first and then the sport. And Celine started riding when she was 7.
Yeah.
And then we met when we were 12 because in France there's this academy when they do natural horsemanship, and at that time it was pretty rare to find that. And we were like blow-minded with what they could achieve with horses. So like little Celine and little Julie were just dreaming about riding the horses bridleless and bareback. And so we just started our journey with natural horsemanship at that age. And we have been doing that for like 10 years now. And we arrived at the JBH center this year.
So yeah, we had like for a couple of years the idea of going to the United States to really like discover and go to the country where natural horsemanship was really developed and where all the big names are. And we didn't really have any contact in the US, so we were just searching on the internet for a horseman, a very talented horseman that will like accept to take 2 French girls that he would have never seen before at his place as working students. And just we found Jordan on the social media, and we had like a couple of calls with him, and then we just like thought that JBH was the perfect place for our project. So we stayed 3 months at JBH, and during the 3 months we discovered like so many things.
And so basically what we did during these 3 months, so we had mainly 2 parts. There was like the performance part. So we had like horses that we trained with every day, and the goal was to get better at a lot of disciplines. So we did jumping, dressage, barrel racing, cutting, reining, liberty, fairs work, and the list goes on. And the other part of the training was problem horses, so working with different equinealities and targeting different issues with horses and trying to see how to work through that. So Jordan used like to give us lessons, and we have a homework to work on our own. And then we've also worked with Matt, who was training horses. And yeah, so for us it was very helpful because we could see a lot of different equinealities and different disciplines. So we just got better horsemanship by doing all of that at the same time.
Yeah, we really grew with all these different training horses because they were all so different. We went from a very right-brain extrovert that was Junior to a very left-brain introvert that is like Miss Mule. So yeah, I think we really grew our horsemanship with that, because now we kind of feel that if we go back to France, we will be able to train pretty much all kind of different types of horses and be able to improve them.
Yeah, I think coming here, I already knew like different exercises I could do with horses. I knew how to do basic groundwork, how to ride like decently horses, but I just didn't know how to adapt my work with horses depending on how they are, like their personality and how they need to learn and how they process things. So I think that's the biggest thing I will take back to France. Kristen and Jordan were like very welcoming people, and it can be hard at first because we come from another country, another riding culture too. So to feel comfortable in a new barn can be hard sometimes at first, but we didn't struggle at all. I mean, very little too, not at all, because they made sure we were just feeling great with the people and the horses. And Jordan was like also always willing to help us. Like we had lessons with him, but also in between he would just always ask us how the work was going with the horses and if we had questions, and we could just send him videos and stuff, and he would always like be there to help us and just encourage us.
And what was great also when we were training horses is that we were not just alone trying to figure it out, like how to improve this horse. And obviously there is always a schedule for the horse because there is a certain amount of time when the horse is staying like for a certain amount of days. So what was great is that we were not alone doing that, but we were supervised by Matt. And it was really great because we really felt that on the one side we were able to try the things on the horse and like do things by ourselves, and on the other end it was also nice to be able to receive the help that we needed sometimes to solve certain situations. Special thought about Miss Mule here because that was really a difficult case for me sometimes. And yeah, like Matt was always like He was always willing to share his knowledge and to help us, but also let us sometimes try the things by ourselves and just be there to guide us. So that was really what was really nice and what was really great with the training of the horses.
Having a lesson with Jordan was pretty fun because, I mean, we felt like we're just friends with him and he's there like only just to help us get to the results we want to.
Yeah.
And also he always kept the lessons fun, so we tried barrel racing, cutting and reining, and it was just always new things. And by showing us these new things, we were just improving like the foundation of our riding, just having more balance and asking better and working our horses like differently, but just getting them better on the whole.
Yeah, it was not stressful. Like sometimes it can get stressful when someone is looking at you when you do something, and it was really not the case neither with Jordan or with Matt when we were training the horses too. Yeah. We never felt like judged by them, and we felt that they were really here to help us, even though sometimes we were not getting it the first time or we were not doing exactly the right thing. We were not like stressed to do the wrong thing at first because we knew that they were willing to help and they were not judging us.
Yeah, and I can be a really anxious student, like sometimes, like, well, okay, I can be like, I am really an anxious student with when I'm training horses, and so Jordan would just always like encourage me, and if it was going back, he would just change the exercise or just go back to the exercise later, so I would have time to just process it and just leave the stress behind. And also Matt just gives me space when I'm trying a new thing, so he would just look from far away, so I don't feel like the pressure when I'm doing something with a horse, and then he would just come back and help me. So they are like pretty good at, because we're just really different, Celine and I, when we train horses. So both of them like are really good to know how to teach us things. Sometimes Celine needs someone just to be like with her when she does it and guide her through, and I need just some time alone and to process it myself and then solve the problem. So they're like pretty good at just seeing how we work and how we need to learn things.
When we arrived here, I like on the very first day, like, I think it was on the second day when we had like this boot camp, and after the boot camp I saw Matt doing pairs in the arena with Solstice and Murray, and I was blow-minded. I was like, how is this possible to do that with a horse? Like I was doing Liberty at my barn like just on the ground, and was like on the horse might be so much difficult. And now we are doing it with Eclipse and King, and actually it's not more difficult at all than on the ground. You just need like to understand how to do it, and it's pretty much the same principles. But yeah, so I'm glad I will take that back to the barn.
So I'm most excited to take back to France, adapting my work to how the horse is, so the different equinealities, and how to work efficiently with them. So like I used to lose a lot of time just doing the same steps with every horse, and now just taking into considerations how they are, how they think, and how they need to learn really saves so much time and really makes the communication way easier with them. So that's the biggest thing for me.
One of my best memory of being here at JBH too was the cold starting that I had the chance to participate in with Matt. I've never done a cold starting before, so that was really a new experience for me, and I just really loved it. And I also like really realized how cold starting can be just a very a good experience for the horse. It really doesn't have, or it should not be stressful at all for the horse in order to be a very good cold starting. With Tilly, the horse that I cold started with Matt, Tilly had never been ridden before. He just had a saddle once or twice before, and we went from a horse that was at this stage to a horse that was walking, trotting and cantering at the end, and he was really like so chill and not stressed at all, so that was a very nice experience.
And I think coming here, it was our first time seeing a colt start with someone riding a horse next to the colt. And because we don't have that in France, I don't think we do.
We don't have Western saddles, so at first it's hard to do that.
So it was like our first time seeing this kind of colt starting with someone riding a horse besides the other horse. And we really saw the advantages of it. It really helps to have a horse that's here too, because the colt can just take it like a reference. Having someone that is also above the other horse helps. And also when I did one cold start with Matt too, you just feel safe to have a horse and someone next to you. And it goes like pretty smoothly, I guess. I mean, for us, it always goes like that. I mean, if the groundwork base is here and you trust the person riding with you, it seems pretty easy. And at first when I was riding the horse I was riding at the time, I thought it was, maybe I'm not the first rider. I don't feel like I'm the first rider on this horse, but I guess I was. So yeah, it was a like very interesting technique to cold start horses.
Yeah, that's something I think we'll definitely bring back to France too. Not even like just not in cold starting, but overall just riding a horse to teach something to another horse is really something that we are absolutely not used to do in France. And that's something I think that we realized here that can be really helpful and that can really like save us some time. Because we did that for cold starting with Matt, but we also did it to teach liberty to junior, for example. And that can really help to create a connection with the horse in a more like simple way, because it's more natural for the horse to connect with another horse, for example. So yeah, I think the fact that even in general, the fact of riding a horse to teach something else to another horse is really something that is really useful and that we will definitely bring back to France. Yeah, I would really recommend, like, if you have the chance of having like time to come to the US and if you want to improve in natural horsemanship and discover things that you've never thought you could do before, I mean, just go to JBH and you will learn so much things going like, yeah, from what we just explained, like cold starting, liberty, every dressage, any discipline. If you are coming from any discipline, you can learn so much things because you will learn how to do them in a very natural way, and so you will just improve your skills so much. And I think even if you're not planning on becoming a professional and if you just want to have your own horse, you can improve so much here to train your horse.
I think the reason why we got our level 3 in those 3 months is because we had a lot of practice, and also we were around people who were like good horsemen, so we just could ask anything, and we're just around people who are always working horses, so we were also learning by just watching people do it. So staying for like a long period, could be just a couple months to more, really helps you grow like really fast, I think.
Yeah, we were hoping to stay 5 months, but even in 3 months we realized how much we improved in very different areas, going from training horses to more like performance side. And yeah, I mean, if you just like love horses and want to learn how to train them in a very natural way and in a way that will like be okay with your values and the fact that you want the horse to be a partner, then just go for it, because you will just learn how to do any discipline, but with the horse being your partner and with you having a very good relationship with your horse. So yeah, I guess we are really sad that our journey here, these 3 months are coming to an end, but we are also like really looking forward to bring all this knowledge in France. And I always had this dream of owning my own horse, obviously, so I'm just now looking forward to have my own horse and be able to have this great relationship with my horse and teach him all these things that I learned. And also, now that we train so many horses here, I kind of like love that, so I would just love to continue training horses too in the future. And I think that I will also like love to be able to come back at JBH and go further into the program and even like grow into like a more even better horseman.
And for me, I don't know what my long-term goal is. I just want to keep it fun. I mean, for me, like these past 3 months haven't been like work for me. It just have been fun to learn stuff. So I just want to learn as much as I can. And before coming here, I like already gave some lessons to some people who didn't know anything about natural horsemanship, and it was just also so great to share it with other people and see how little can impact these people and their horses too. Like sometimes just the little things can have like a big difference after. So I don't know. I know with horses I just want to keep it fun and enjoyable, and then if I can train horses it would be so great, and if I can help people too, it would just be like a bonus for me.